Hola, señores y señoritas. I was taught kindness was king before I even understood what that meant. Now, when I first originally came here from Haiti, I was I was doormat nice. I was welcome written all over me. You could say whatever you wanted to me, and that was mainly because I was trying to understand culture. I was trying to understand language. I was trying to understand so much I did not know. And when I used to play soccer, one thing that still rings in my head about when I used to play, well, when I actually first started out, used to play, I still do, but now on the team. When I used to play when I was younger, I used to be so nice. When it came to the dudes, when it came to girls, take the ball from me. It is rude, because I was taught it was rude to disrespect the female. Like, to my truest core, I am a genuinely nice person. But I've been Americanized. So that means I had to learn to be just a little bit deceptive, because people are deceptive, honestly, anywhere and everywhere. But it seems like people around me are the most deceptive. They act nice but aren't nice. They act mean but are nice. I'm just like, why the fuck can't you just be nice? Like, why the fuck you acting so mean if you're so nice? It wasn't until later on in life I understood that. I'm like, bitch, why are you so mean? Why are you so nice if you actually mean? What is wrong with you? Yet again, not until later in life I understood why people do that. So when I was growing up, I had issues with, well, aside from my own identity, I had issues with trying to figure out who to be nice to and who to be mean to the point where I just basically went more into myself instead of going out with people, because everybody's smiling when they enjoy. Everybody's smiling when the party's going on, but who's going to stay to clean up afterwards? Who's going to stay when the cops come? Nobody. Who's going to stay to clean? Nobody. Who really gives a fuck? Somebody, maybe. Somewhere, but not close to you. Assume the people around you are the people that care about you the most. But you ever think that they're only around you because it's close to you, because they can be, because you allow them to be? Like, you ever try moving? You ever try making it hard for them and see how much work they put in to still be around you? I'm just saying, test the people that are close to you, and if they're still willing to come through, regardless of what the test is, then maybe they truly care about you. Or maybe they have a higher value and you're just like, this petty little shit ain't gonna bother me. I know you the money bank. And once you get in there and you get all your money, I'm gonna take something from you, and I'm gonna disappear. Because everybody has a motive. Some people's motives is just to enjoy life until they die. Some people's motives is to get rich and they don't give a fuck how they get. And some people's motive is just one thing I did learn about living life is sometimes people just do shit just to do shit. Which is honestly most of my excuses for doing half the things I do, because if I really thought about it, there really is no reason for half the things I've done. There's reasons for other half, but at the same time, I don't want to spend the time to actually sit down and explain it, because if I sit down and explain it, doesn't mean the person I'm explaining to will understand. So it's like, it's understanding who you can talk to, who you can be around, and who you can feel safe. Because you could talk to just about anybody, doesn't mean they'll respond back or understand you. You can be around just about anybody, doesn't mean they're going to be respectful towards you. It's just so much to life, it's almost ridiculous. So I just spend a lot of time inside of myself trying to figure out who really cares, who's just there, and who doesn't care, and who's there and cares and doesn't care to the there. I don't know, something like that. I'm just saying, people do whatever they want to, and you should hold them accountable to do what they want to do, and not what you ask them to do or not what you tell them to do. Because you can tell people and ask people until you are a different color in your face. You can ask and tell people until you're dead. You can ask and tell people, but honestly, people will do whatever the fuck they want to. And if you don't believe me, well, did you scroll past this? Are you continuously to watch this? Like, it doesn't matter how I showed this to you, you will do whatever you want to. You'll either like this, you'll share this. Doesn't matter if I give you information on what to do with it. You will do whatever you want to, as I will do whatever I want to. But I figured the problem with doing whatever you want to is not everybody takes in consideration other people's feelings and emotions. And I can understand not everybody's feelings and emotions matter when it comes to everything, but when it comes to being outward with myself, when it comes to touching, running, mainly when it just comes to other interactions with people. If I gotta touch somebody, if I gotta talk to somebody, that's when I try to take other people's emotions into account. Because, well, for instance, I try to think of how would I want to be treated if I was you. And to be able to understand that is to be able to understand how your mind works. And typically, I don't know how most people's mind works until I get a conversation with them. If I don't know how their mind works until I get a conversation with them, I typically don't try to start the conversation, because I myself have been told to calm the fuck down a handful of times, and I'm just like, I am calm. So it confuses me on what everybody's level of calm is, because my calm is, I guess, excitable all the way up there. So I'm just like, I will let you pick the tone and I will follow after you, because if I pick the tone, you might get mad at me and never talk to me, and that's personally fine with me. But to you, I don't want you in my life because I feel like you can help me go somewhere. I want you in my life because you actually allow me to be happy, or you give me some sense of happiness, or you just allow me to be me as long as I'm not being destructive. Like, that is the only reason I would want anybody in my life. So, like, just because you got a bangable body, that doesn't mean shit to me. Just because you got a great brain, that doesn't mean shit to me. Just because you have plentiful money, that doesn't mean shit to me. I don't look at people like, ooh, what can I benefit off of you? But I am not like everybody else, and everybody else is not like me. Some people think like, what can I benefit? Some people think like, oh, you're cool. And some people think like, it's gonna kill time. I don't know. I ain't been doing shit in 2.5 years. You might take up 3 months. I could probably stretch you out for 7. Then I'm gonna have to do something else for the rest of the time. So it's like, what is their intentions with you, for you, and how do they treat you? Because in all honesty, like I said, I don't give a fuck about your brain, I don't give a fuck about your body, and I don't give a fuck about your money. So if you treat me like shit, well, you know what this finger means, fuck off. Well, fuck you, but like, I don't care. Personally, it's how you treat me is what's going to keep me, and that's what my dad taught me. A little bit, actually, because he's always been such a very kind and giving type of person. Like, I always tell people when it comes to the topic of my father, if you want to talk to him, I hope you're not doing too much, because you're going to be there for a minute. Because he will tell you everything. Such a very open, sociable person. And it was when I was younger, I'd never actually realized that, because of the fact that tyrants, they're horrible. So the fact that my dad seemed to be antisocial when I was growing up, and my mom seemed to be the sociable one. But the difference between the sociabilities is the fact that she was manipulative when she spoke. It was all an act, and she just really yelled a lot. He was loud and angry, more or less, because if she was keeping his voice down. Every time he spoke, she didn't care. Every time she spoke, he broke his back, metaphorically speaking. And I guess from the understanding of that environment, I realized the main reason why he yelled was to be heard, and because she don't care. She ain't gonna hear him if he speaks normal. She hears him when he yells, but at the same time, she's like, why are you yelling? Why are you such a manipulated bitch? So I learned kindness from my father. I learned manipulation from my mother. Even though I am adopted, I can still pick up shit. Like, yo, you ever hang around someone so long, you start picking up their mannerisms, their style, maybe their dress code, and it's just like, anybody could do that. That's why I try to be a good influence and a good role model when I'm around kids, because I don't know what they're gonna pick up from me. Like, I try to hope that they pick up the good shit, but I could do good shit all freaking day and do one stupid thing and not be that one thing that they pick up. So it's like, oh shit. But I'm pretty sure that also goes to compatibility too. So like, if they feel like they can be compatible with me, maybe they'll pick up more than just the bad shit. But if they only feel like the bad thing about me or the bad thing that I've done is the most compatible thing of me to them, then they just might pick up that thing. And I'm just like, fuck it. It's their responsibility to understand and know better from worse. It's your responsibility as a parent to teach them better and worse. It's my responsibility as a decent human being to not always show the bad sides, to show that there are good people in this world, regardless. Which is why every time I see somebody being kind, regardless if I know them or not, regardless of the stage situation, I try to at least think positive. Like, oh, look how nice and sweet they are. Even though, like, context is really key in understanding the fact that this might be staged. And it's very hard to know. So I try to think, like I said, uplifting and positive. Because honestly, it could be like, oh, it's so sweet. But we'll really be going like, don't act suspicious. Dear, smile or not. Just in case somebody sees us. And like, I would hope to not. Actually, yeah. I did encounter something like that when I was at work. And it wasn't like that, but honestly, it kind of was like that. I was making my rounds with the elderly, and I looked at the sheet, and I don't know what was wrong with my head, but I looked at the time, and that time was wrong. But honestly, I wasn't there at the right time. The time is wrong, but I went up there to check on one of the elderlies I was supposed to check on, and I went to her room, and one, she had a visitor, and all the time I was there, she's never had one, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. Two, her door was open, which is always closed throughout the day. Three, she was on the couch. That's nothing new. But like, I went into her room and I saw the dude, and I try to admire the residents' room, see what makes every single one of them different. And I was admiring her room. So when I saw the dude, I saw the ginger, and I've seen a ginger on her fridge, and I'm thinking, oh, that's her grandson. At first, but I'm like, he looks a little like, I don't know, she's pretty old. They might be outdated photos. I didn't really know what to think about it. But at the same time, like, she gave me eyes. I said, please don't leave. Please, stay. So I was like, oh, looks like you got a visitor. And I was initially gonna just stop in and go out, but I saw her eyes, and then the fact that she was like, oh no, I gotta go. I hopped on real quick on the oh shit, she in trouble train. Because I've learned to tell cues, because if you're in danger, you can't just like, help, I'm in danger! Because then, like, the killer gonna either bam, shoot you, or they're gonna get very violent very, very quickly. So I do understand from movies and shitty situations I put myself in, if you're in danger, the best way to get help is by being discreet. Because the thing is, you're not supposed to try to piss off your captor, because you piss off your captor, like I said, they get capping. So, well, he wasn't really her captor, but at the same time, I would have whooped his ass from the shit that she told me after we left and got him kicked out of her room. Like, girl, why'd you tell me what we were in there? I would have whooped his ass happily and lost my job. So apparently, from what she was telling me, is he was supposed to be one of the painters for her house. She was trying to sell her house because she lives where she lives now. So he was supposedly a family friend of theirs, and what he was supposed to do is paint the house, get it done, and she's already paid him and stuff like that. But his lazy ass isn't doing shit of the painting, and apparently he was stealing stuff, and I was just like, I am so sorry. Because the price that she was paying him, oh my gosh, I was like, girl, I am sorry. You cannot pay for good help, and you literally can't. Just because their price is good don't mean they are good. It just means that I guess they have credibility so well. It's just like, I can name my price no matter if I get the job done as fast as they want me to or not. Look at this credibility. Look at my name. You see this name? This name goes for hundreds and thousands of dollars, and I'm giving it to you for a deal. Because that's all we really pay for anyways in life. We pay for names. I would start saying something, but now I'd be paying for names. So it's like, how do you know if somebody is going to do what they say they're going to do? Well, reviews do help, but at the same time, if you know enough people to lie for you, what's a review going to do? I don't know. I figured, just be aware of context, be aware of how they act, be aware of how they treat you. And if you aren't that aware of a person, well, shit. I don't know. Know yourself. Know the people that you attract. That's one thing I try to focus on, because I do realize my attraction of people is absolute shit. Like, I'll attract good people. That's after like 600,000 bad people, or manipulators or liars. I'm just like, I sit back a lot by myself due to the fact that I do realize what I bring to the table, and that's entertainment. Which, what value does that hold? Well, I don't know. How valuable do you see Mr. Hart or Mr. Rock? Not the Johnson Rock, the other Rock. Not the Kid Rock, the other Rock. So it's like, how valuable do you see me? And also, I bring other things to the table I don't feel like discussing at this current moment, but I would at a different moment for some reason. And still posted to here, so it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not functional enough. So I do realize what my value is. I do realize that people will lie and manipulate you regardless of what the situation is, regardless of how much help. And I just figure, if you're going to be open and honest to me, just be open and honest to me. If you're going to lie to me, well, deuces. I'm fine with liars, but I ain't going to be around one. They ain't going to be in my circle. Like, if I just meet you and I understand that you're a liar because of your actions, because your words will say one thing, your actions will do another thing. And if these two go like this, then yeah, I might be able to trust and be able to be with you. But if your words and your actions go like this, well, then screw you. Why the hell would I spend time with you? You never make sense anyways. So I just enjoy my life being me.